All right.
We're rolling.
We are.
We are rolling. All right. You have to do the clap.
I know. Wait. That should be pretty good.
That should be pretty
That
good.
should be
That's our
pretty
start.
good. Okay.
Okay, so what's the topic today?
It's unwarranted, right?
Unwarranted.
The whole
Okay.
concept is this is rambling that is not well thought. And, anything I say can be falsifiable. And it's not going to be like
Bro's got that social anxiety going on.
No, super formal or anything, right?
How do you feel about social anxiety?
Social anxiety? I don't know. I'm not really a social anxious person.
I'm pretty socially anxious. I just don't show it.
You don't show it? Okay.
Do I?
Yes. No.
It might be.
I don't know. Maybe I just need to see you in more social settings. But the idea is it's what I was originally going to do. I was going to go off in the woods near the university, right? And I was going to rant at the camera.
Rant at the camera.
And I still might do that. I might do that later this week. But
bring me with, bro. I'm so down.
Nah. It's got to be just me and let the insaneness flow.
Insane.
So this is what I was going to start off with. I have a bunch of ideas when it comes to automation. That automation is almost always a ethical bad to implement.
Ethical bad. Why is that?
I think it always either there's two perspectives. There's the economics perspective, and then like the purely moral perspective. And this was something I was thinking about. I think Friday. Is I was imagining instead of the employer implementing automation to the business, that was the employee implementing automation. And this is what I imagined, right? So you work at a retail store.
Yeah.
And you're the cashier. And what you do is you actually implement, like you bring your laptop into work, you implement some software so it interfaces with the machine, the computer, to process the transactions, and you buy a small robot arm that scans every item. And what you do every time you clock into work, you set up your laptop and your thing, and all you do is just sit there.
Okay.
That seems like you're being lazy. Like, why are you even showing up, right? And I was kind of thinking, okay, if it's like, if we see it as kind of like the employee shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for the employer to do that?
Well, at that point, I would say, is the employee innovating? Because, so, think about it, right?
Yeah.
The whole point that the employee would want to do that is to make an arm that is to do the cashier service for them.
Yeah,
and
they don't want to work.
I mean, yeah, but that's exactly why people innovate, is they don't want to work. And I think that the ideal system would be that no one has to work.
No one, you do want anyone.
Yeah, so I think at that point what the employer should do is pay the employee to make more arms.
But actually what would happen is that the employer would see the automation, is like, oh, I'm going to do this myself, and fire the employee.
Yeah, and the employee can go on, keep making more arms.
And fire all the...
The employee can just go and sell arms. I mean, that's exactly what automation should be.
What is that doing, though? Think about it. All those other cashiers now, they're going to be out of a job. They're not going to be able to work. And my idea here is that there are people who, I'd say a lot of people, probably a majority of people actually enjoy having something to do, having a job.
I think this is where you get into Marxism. This is where you get into Marxism, because I mean that's when in that society when things can be automated and people don't have to work.
Yeah.
That's exactly when Marxism comes in, and that's everybody just treat them egalitarian. Treat them egalitarian, and the means of production will be handled by some automation or people who will just work.
But you're removing fulfillment from your society.
What do you mean by fulfillment?
People like working.
Some people do, not everybody.
I'd say a majority of people, I think, like working. Or even, let's even say maybe like a minority, right? Let's say a minority of people like painting fences, but you get a machine and it gets picked up by the society.
Man, I don't know if this thing is picking up it might be picking up me swallowing.
That's fine.
Okay, I need to stop drinking.
No, it's fine. I don't think it would because of the thing, but
all right, hopefully.
Yeah. But you make a fence painting robot. Society picks it up. All the fence painters are out of job. What you've effectively done is removed all type of fulfillment for those people in your society, and this applies to any amount of automation.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying here. Is that for people, for capitalism specifically, when you can automate a society, and people are in a society where they're raised to have ambitious goals to work, where they're raised to want to work, how can you expect that automation is good? Except the system wants automation. Like, I think this is a little bit of an unethical thing where, I think it's a fundamental flaw of the system, is that in socialism and communism, it's based off people don't have to work. People shouldn't have ambition to work necessarily. And so
I don't think that's what communism is at all.
well, so that can be a direct output, though, is that you, if you don't want to work, you don't have to work, and there should be expectation there that we're trying to make things more egalitarian. So communism doesn't necessarily like stretch out its hand for automation, but what I'm saying is that it is more complementary to automation because people are already treated in an egalitarian way. If they lose their jobs, it's going to be okay. The work's still going to get done because it's automated.
Maybe you're missing my point here. What I'm saying is
I could be.
that people, fundamentally, I think it is something that people do. They like to work. People like to work, and that's basic to people. If you gave a fully grown adult, I think raised in any system in any time period, and you say, you know what, I'm not. You're gonna go do nothing. All you're gonna do is maybe eat, wake up, sleep, and maybe talk to people.
Sure.
I think that person's gonna be very, very
Annoyed.
not even annoyed, like kind of like basically
Depressed.
oppressed.
Yeah.
Like they're being oppressed by you, not allowing them to do something.
Okay.
And automation, what it does is it removes opportunities for potential fulfillment in a society. And that, I think, is what is ethically wrong with it. Is that every automation only goes to points where it removes fulfillment from society.
So okay. I can get behind that. So in that case, is a society where people are always working better than, or what specifically working on what they want to work on? Is that better
It doesn't have to
than?
be.
Why not? People should just work in general.
Well, no, I mean, just being like realistic about it. People are going to work, right?
Sure.
And people have to work to get things done. And I mean, obviously, you're not always going to be at a job you want to be at. I think most people aren't at a job where they want to be at, right? But the thing is, they get some sort of fulfillment out of it.
Okay.
But if that job was automated from them, that would be taken away.
Taking away that fulfillment.
Yeah, it would also be giving it to whoever owns the machine. Or giving them, I guess, the economic opportunities to people who own the machine.
But people should be expected to work. Yeah. People should, like, people want to work.
I think people want to work, yeah. I mean, and there's just a physical necessity, I think, to work.
Sure. Okay. So, I mean, this isn't automation. Then is a really hard issue.
No, I think it's always bad.
Yeah, but well, it's not always bad. If you want money, automation's good. If you are the owner of a company and you can automate things, that's really good for you.
How is it good for you?
Because you're going to make more money without having to pay the machine.
But I don't think it's good to just want money.
It's not ethically good. It's not ethically good. But it's going to
bad.
be good for you. It's going to be positive for you. Not that you're being ethical with it.
I don't know how is it positive then.
So if my goal is to make money, okay, and I'm making cars, and I have to pay a worker $15 an hour to build that car, that's losing me money. But if the machine will do it for free, and I just have to pay $15 once, and from then on out, the machine will build it for me. No hourly pay. That is a lot more profound and easy for me, and I'm not losing money over that.
Losing money. Yeah, but I don't think losing money is a bad thing for you.
Well, yeah, I would say that too, but not everybody. Like
I know.
the
I'm
point
not.
is
I'm not trying to be a relativist.
people are incentivized
Yeah.
to use automation, and automation makes tasks
that's what
easier
I'm. That's
for
what I'm
people.
arguing against. I'm saying people shouldn't be incentivized. I don't know.
Incentivize.
Incentivized. Yeah.
Okay, well, hear me out.
Mhm.
So far we've only talked about this in a commercial setting, right? So, what about for students? What about like AI for students that helps them write essays, that helps them do these things? I mean, what are the moral implications of specifically dispatching automation for people who are in need of automation? I mean, things that like dishwashers,
Hey,
things
this
like
is
that.
what I'm saying. Is that
Laundry machines.
there are going to be jobs that people don't like, but that get automated, and even though they didn't like their job in the first place, them getting it automated is removing some type of potential fulfillment from society,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So you want zero automation. I mean, you want to deindustrialize.
Well, I'm arguing it on a moral basis.
I think it's raining.
That's not just that I want. Yeah, I think it is. It's not just I who want to like de-automate everything, but it's actually a moral issue. I'm saying there ought to be none. Not just like there shouldn't be, but
There ought to be zero automation. We ought to deindustrialize.
Yeah, it's a moral bad.
So okay. This is a profound question. I mean, not to mention the name here, but Ted Kaczynski.
I hate that guy. So.
Exactly. So what is the difference between leading down to that radical path here?
I mean no. Well,
he had this similar idea. I don't know if he had the same reasons, but I mean, if you want to deindustrialize,
I mean,
you gotta
I've
go
never
primitive.
read Industrial Society and its Future or any of those things.
I've read a little bit, but you're going to head down into that path.
Oh, okay, here's the thing: is I think it's an important distinction to realize the difference between tools and automation. I think there's a big difference. Power tools aren't automation.
Sure, but like a dishwasher would be.
Yeah.
Okay, so tooling.
You could have super advanced tools.
Yeah, and those are industrialization. Okay, so specifically, what we don't want is automative tools, but we want people to always be working, and
It's not okay. The idea isn't that we want people always to be working.
well, if there's a task,
The idea is that we don't want to remove potential fulfillment from our societies. Like what the ideal, I think, is to have the most opportunities for people to be fulfilled in your society. And by automating away all the jobs, what you are doing is you're removing that from your society. And I'm saying that is an ethical bad.
ethical bad.
Like,
Okay. Well, interesting. And so people should always pay someone pay someone or get someone to wash their dishes. They should always clean their clothes on their own.
yeah.
I mean,
These are things that humans have done for thousands and thousands of years. You know, it's not like we've always done.
I would argue people don't get others to wash their clothes for them.
Well, what I'm saying, they do it themselves.
Yeah,
like these
but
things, like
that
the,
takes a lot of time. Why
menial
not?
tasks.
Why should I not throw it in a laundry machine? It's convenient.
Well, think about it. You could, and imagine you hire someone. You hire a servant, and now look, that person could potentially be being fulfilled by that job.
Well, what if I can't afford it? What if I can afford the laundry machine, but I can't afford a servant?
You can afford a laundry machine, but you can't afford a servant.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wash
Could I change the question to is automation that fulfills a task for? Well, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm losing the thought of the conversation here. No, but could automation that fills the task for a personal goal versus fills the task for a work goal, for instance, producing. So the difference between production and task accomplishment. could those be separated? Like, could a laundry machine, a dishwasher be good because those are gritty tasks
I don't think why.
that people are doing for themselves versus production that people might be doing for others that could be hired?
I don't see any reason why one would be less fulfilling than the other. I think equally people can get fulfillment by both of them.
Sure, but not everybody wants to hire someone to wash their dishes.
Yeah.
So,
business owners don't always want to hire people to do work for them.
true. So you think it is a necessary evil?
No,
To hire
I think we
others.
just shouldn't do it.
Well, no. Not automation
Oh.
is a necessary evil. That the fact that you need to
Work
deal
on things
with,
that don't fulfill you?
well, no, well, for one, you need to work on things that don't fulfill you, but also maybe also hire help is a necessary evil.
I don't think it's evil at all.
Okay, so okay, but it's difficult and it takes time. It can distract. Like, automation has forwarded progress in so many ways.
Well, what's progress?
So I mean, things like production.
Okay.
Things like giving people time away from mundane tasks so they can focus on something that may be more productive.
Productive to what end?
I mean, so let's say I'm a really genius computer scientist, okay? And I figure out a way to make a really good, like, program that, I don't know, okay, I don't have any ideas, but let's say like a really useful program that helps people a lot.
Yeah.
And well, like, I might not be able to finish that in my lifetime if every day I have to come home from work and then, I don't know, wash the dishes, wash my clothes, do all these things that could be running in the background asynchronously, and I could be working on the program. In that case, I would be progressing further, possibly more efficiently, than if I weren't automating those tasks. So I think, I mean, there has to be a line. So where are we at with time?
I think
7 minutes.
I get what you're saying, but I don't see it as justification.
You think it's still better,
It's still like,
even if it's slower?
yeah,
Wow.
because you're removing, like, what are you doing when you're automating those tasks? You're removing opportunities for people. If you're such a genius guy, right, in society, like just humans as creatures, you can show the merits of this project to people, and you're gonna be able to find someone who will, like, yeah, sure, come along with me, help me work on this. And you still get to do, sure, you can still do the mundane things while maintaining the same project. I mean, that's the thing about humans, is that we multiply, right? We're organisms. So I don't see, like, why that would be justified. Because it is, and I think this is just historically proved, that it is a slippery slope. That once you start automating one thing, people get the idea and they start doing other things. If it's morally allowed in one way, it's going to be morally allowed in other ways.
So it's just a step that we don't want to take.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is literally, I'm pretty sure, I haven't read it, but I'm pretty sure this is the argument from Ted Kaczynski, right? It's pretty close. It's like, the step towards industrialization, it led to all these bad things. I don't know what he thinks is bad about industrialization, but he doesn't like it, I know that. And he was like, if we can't take any step towards this. And the logic, I think, is sound, at least in my version of what I'm arguing here. I think it's sound to just not allow any automation. Automation, yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I do see
Like,
what you're
what
saying.
would be the objection?
I mean, people have use for automation.
Yeah, and what? Okay, this is like,
So I mean, you may be correct here. It may be a step in the wrong direction. But, I mean, people, I mean, I guess we should ask ourselves, what do we mean by when humans want work? So because people can create,
Mm-hmm.
people can fulfill themselves, but does that have to be work? I mean, people can entertain themselves
I
in
just
other
mean
ways.
work is labor,
Yeah.
right? And people get enjoyment out of labor, right? You would agree with that. There are people who genuinely like washing dishes. There are generally people who like building houses
Sure.
and the like. And they enjoy those things. People love being mechanics and all this. And we could easily imagine all the ways these tasks can be automated, right? And we know it's definitely possible. And it's most likely going to be done in our lifetime, right? And it's definitely already been done. I mean, there are dishwashers and like automated painters, and there's even things now that people like. I've seen it somewhere like they 3D print houses, right? And what is it doing? It's removing fulfillment. It's also removing income to a lot of people. And if you think about it, industrialization, I think, is probably, and automation particularly, I don't even think it's industrialization. I only think it's automation.
Yeah, because of the tools, right?
Yeah, you can use tools, and you still have to hire laborers for those tools. And sure, maybe it's less, but then you have more people who can use the tools.
Yeah.
But it's automation that has led to the massive, like, ratio of where the wealth is located in like the top 1%, right? I think it's that because
Oh.
employers.
So the automation that corporations are able to employ allows them to concentrate wealth upwards.
Yeah, think about it, right? If you are a venture capitalist and you want to start a car company, you need to hire way less people because you can have robots
Yeah.
who build the cars for you. And what is that doing?
You
That's
have a good
removing
point.
a lot of fulfillment from your society.
Interesting. And so society will find fulfillment. What you're saying is that people will work. Like people want to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
that's obvious, right?
Well,
Who doesn't work?
So I mean, oh, what was it, Jamestown, where people didn't work until someone came in and said, like, they were trying to form a communal society, and or I don't know if I know the exactly what happened. So,
Sure.
but some general comes in and he's like, hey, you don't work, you don't eat, and it fixed it within like a day. So where's the line there?
What do you mean?
So, I mean, I would say, oh, no, that's not true. So, okay, so here's the issue. Here's the issue. People only want to work on what they want to work on. People, like, I don't want to flip burgers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't find fulfillment out of flipping burgers. If I could find something to automate flipping burgers for me, I'd rather stay at home to sleep. So in that case,
To sleep, really?
I mean, if I had no other choice, right? If that was the only work to do, I would rather automate that. I would rather that gets automated.
You would?
So yeah,
Like genuinely, if there was such a reality where you were born in like a warehouse somehow in this experiment or something, and the only thing you could do there was flip burgers, you wouldn't?
yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I'd rather socialize. I'd rather do non-productive things
Interesting.
than flip burgers.
Huh.
So and I think this is the anti-communist argument is that people, it's not that people don't want to work, it's that people want to do what they want to do, and usually that's productive. Usually it is. People have aspirations, but it's not always what might be needed. And so that's the issue that a lot of people have with communism. It's that you kind of need to allocate to where what you need.
I don't know. I mean, this is definitely becoming more of a psychological argument, but
Yeah, we have 22 seconds till ad break.
okay, we can cut now.
What?
We can cut now. I can't make
We can
the
cut now.
point. in time.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what the camera actually is at.
Yeah. Then we'll let Chelsea inside for a break. I'm glad I hit record. We're good. Reclap?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get a clap.
Reclap us in. Reclap us in. Okay.
Beautiful.
So we left off on the anti-communist argument that
Okay.
people want to work on what they want to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
And so if automation is bad.
Oh, I
and-
remember.
Huh?
I remember the point I was going to make.
What's the point you're going to make?
It's becoming more of a psychological argument, right?
Sure.
Where we actually have to know what human nature is like. And my position, uninformed, I don't know, but my theory would be that in that warehouse, eventually, you're gonna flip burgers. That's my theory.
You think?
Eventually, you're gonna want to have some type of labor going on.
I don't see it.
You don't really?
I don't see it.
Because I can't, dude.
I would rather, right now,
Yeah.
rationally thinking, I would rather have all tasks done. If I could not program, if programming wasn't a thing, as a software engineer, if programming wasn't a thing, I would rather do things like philosophy. I would rather do things like socializing with others, something
philosophy,
non-productive.
I would say, is a type of work.
Really?
yeah, I would say.
Okay.
I mean,
So let's say philosophy wasn't a thing. Let's say just all the answers are handed to you and everything is automated. I mean, I don't think I would want to flip burgers.
Really? Really?
I
So
wouldn't
interesting.
get fulfillment from it.
From labor.
Yeah, I mean, I would get more entertainment from socializing with others.
That's so interesting. Okay.
But once you bring programming into it, and once production is needed with programming, it becomes a whole different argument. We got planes coming overhead.
It's fighter jets.
Yeah, planes. Whoa, dude. Wow, look at that. I wonder if the recording's gonna catch it.
They're never gonna hear it.
I don't think they're gonna hear that.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. What are they doing?
They do that a lot.
They do?
Yeah,
Over
they do
here?
that a lot. Okay.
Dang, that's so cool. F-35s, dude. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Are they circling back around?
I don't know.
No.
We'll
Okay.
see.
What was I saying? Oh yes. So once you bring the programming into it, it becomes a different argument. So my thought is, how can we make a society where people are able to do what they want to do, where people are able to do their ambitions, their intrinsic ambitions that they have, exercise their intrinsic talents.
I think I'm literally gonna say this. That's besides the point.
Well, so I think it's besides the point, but I think the point leads there. I think the point leads from.
How's it lead?
I mean, I think the logical premises lead that automation is bad because it takes away jobs. Okay. But the thing is that people don't necessarily want to work on everything like flipping burgers.
Yeah.
And so, if automation is bad, but people do want to work, how do we fulfill every job? Are they coming back?
Maybe, I don't know. It's fine. But I don't think we need to fulfill every job. We don't need a society where everyone is perfectly happy with their job, perfectly fulfilled by their job. And what I meant, like, besides the point is the argument really doesn't matter on a individual level. It's purely on a societal level. That in society, if we want to have an ethical economy, you can't have any automation. And that's it.
Okay, I can't remember how we got here exactly, but
Well, this is the base argument. This is just what I've been saying.
yeah, but I feel like we went through something that led me to think that it
I think it was out of a misinterpretation. Like I never meant the argument to be individually. It doesn't matter.
I don't think it's individually it doesn't matter. I'm what
It
I'm
does?
thinking here is that it is that if automation isn't useful and not everybody wants to work on everything, people either have to do what they don't want to do reluctantly, or there's some way, like I don't know.
I think what I'm kind of saying, it's not morally bad to work on something you don't want to do. I'm not saying
Sure.
that.
Sure. Yeah.
And therefore, like, why should I strive to increase that if I don't think it's morally bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care if people aren't working on something that fulfills them, because it's amoral.
It's just something that has to
But
be
what I
done.
think is moral is eliminating opportunities for potential fulfillment.
And for those who want to take the opportunities versus those who don't, would the people who don't, I mean, would they have their time better spent somewhere else? Also, how do we get to the, this is more important. How do we get to the argument about the warehouse? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. How do we get there?
I can't remember either.
Okay. Anyways, so
But I think I just
no, it had bearing to it. I mean, this is just the
think it was
recycled
arguing.
warehouse argument.
I think it was arguing to a different point, and I realized I wasn't trying to make that point.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just said something contradictory.
Well, so okay. Let's take this idea. So some people are more pre-imposed to certain, or pre-imposed to certain talents. Is that
Disposed?
predisposed? There we
Or
go.
I don't know.
Predisposed. People are more predisposed to certain talents and opportunities than others. So I would be
Yeah.
more predisposed to software engineering. You would be maybe more predisposed to, I don't know, philosophy, psychology, something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. But in that case, let's say that, right?
Yeah.
We can make a hypothetical here.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I not go do software engineering and
Right,
you go do that stuff?
You
and
go do it.
What if there aren't enough people predisposed to burger flipping?
And then they'll have to do it.
They'll have to do. Okay,
Or the industry's gonna die. It's
right. So it's not a necessary evil. It's just necessary.
well, it's just kind of how I think society functions.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like this is how society functions now with some industrialization. So when the industrialization goes away,
Yeah.
you think it gets better?
That's why automation happened, though. If you think about it, right, is because there weren't enough burger flippers.
There weren't enough burger
There weren't
flippers.
enough people to build the cars, to lay railways and stuff, and that's why they started making machines that did the jobs instead of people, because there weren't enough.
Okay.
But now we've obviously seen the slippery slope, where now people aren't able to get a job, or are starting to not be able to get a job, because it's actually the robots who are taking the positions, rather than the automation being something that's supplementary. It's become something that is
Implementary.
yeah, like you implement. That's the foundation of business is automation, rather than I can't hire enough people, so I'm going to make a machine that does a job, because there's not enough people to work.
Okay. So we figured out how society works. What do we do?
I think maybe.
So, but I mean, and
Oh,
you want to take
hubris.
away, you want to take away the component. You want to take away the implementary component.
I think we're growing
and
too
you think,
fast, bro.
but people are supplementary. And you want to take away implementary components because that helps people concentrate unfairly.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay, so
What?
this is drawing from earlier discussion where the automation is helping business owners allocate funds to the top because there's no workers at the bottom to get the funds to.
Sure.
So, in that case,
Oh yeah.
in that scenario, the workers would be supplementary because they are there. They supply themselves. The business owner has to pay them, and he's not implementing the worker. The worker may be implementing themselves, but they're supplementary to the job.
How are they supplementary? They're integral.
Yes.
The job doesn't get done if the person doesn't work.
Well, yes, but the point is that the workers are. Maybe supplementary isn't the best word. How are we defining supplementary?
What I was saying, right? There's a job that needs to be done.
Sure.
You're building a Ford model, like T or whatever, if that's a model. I can't remember what the original model was called.
Ford, let's say Ford F-150.
You're building a Ford, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, You're hiring a bunch of people in your factory, right?
Sure.
But you're getting so many orders, and that you build a new factory, and there's like literally no one left in the town that can work at the factory. What you do then, you're like, okay, I need to fulfill these orders, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna supplement workers because there's none available. I'm gonna introduce machines to build the car.
And so you're implementing new things
Yeah,
instead
so-
of supplying
yeah.
workers.
Think
So-
like the
So workers only become supplementary when the job becomes too big.
no, it was the workers are never Well, I was gonna say, right? You build a factory, you run out of workers,
Sure.
then you supplement machines
Mm.
for workers because
So
you don't have enough workers.
So the machine is supplementary.
Yeah, but then what happens?
Oh, because you're supplementing the machine and it's replacing the worker.
Yeah.
And the worker's implementary.
But originally, right, the machine was supplementary to the worker because there weren't enough, or it was cheaper or something like that. But now what has happened is the machine is taken over,
Sure.
and now it would be the worker who's supplementary when you don't have machines. The role was reversed in labor. And what I'm saying that did morally is it removed fulfillment from your society,
Okay.
and that's an ethical
Yeah.
bad.
So because the worker gets replaced, it allows business owners to concentrate wealth easier, because the people who own the business automate and they get more money, where the workers are just sitting there, not having jobs, and so this is also damaging to the job market.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
This is wait, hold on. So wait, this is great. I think I can make my point here.
okay.
Okay. Automation is really, really good for the money market, but for the job market, it is terrible. Yeah? It drives up, it drives down the price of the worker.
No.
Yeah, because people won't pay the worker as much because they can just pay that much for a machine to do it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So it's really bad for the job market.
It is. I would say.
And so
Be clear.
yeah. Okay, wow. This has always been my issue with the job market too. I was just trying to find a way to articulate it. Is that when the job market is supplementary, then you have a big issue on your hands, because if your society is still based on, and wow, this is bringing me to a different point. If your society is based on money,
Yeah.
and the worker is supplementary, that doesn't work. Because your society is based on money. Only the people who are getting money are actually going to be able to spend money. So the worker eventually gets drained and runs out of money, and the worker dies.
I mean, that's what's kind of
It is a money justified genocide on the lower class.
genocide.
I'm serious.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to think more about that, but
I mean, this sounds. This sounds like automation is terrible.
I know it is. That's what
wait, hold on. This is like This is radicalizing me right now, because this sounds to me like all the employer's doing is driving down the worth of the worker with machines, or with any automated task that drives the worth of the worker down to zero. And once the worker is worth nothing, and your society is still based on money, it makes the employer worth money because they have the machines, and it makes the worker worth nothing because they are mundane. They are nothing. They're an obstacle.
Okay.
So when you can automate things, and when you are promoting automation, you are promoting genocide. Not a real genocide necessarily, but you are promoting the thought that workers are an obstacle and that people are an obstacle
Yeah.
that you need to get around.
That was kind of the genocide. I think it's a little too strong of language.
Well, I mean, if we take this to an extreme, if we follow it where it's going to go, if everything's automated, the worker is worth nothing. So what happens to the worker? If your society is still based on making money, what happens to the worker? I mean, all the money will get concentrated at the top, and then it'll start flowing throughout the top, and the worker will die off. And then you will keep infinitely having this class where and the top divides into subgroups at the top, those die off, and it just keeps
I think
dividing.
you might be abstracting a little too far there.
Well,
I think
I mean, I'm just
you're
thinking
avoiding all
here.
the political things that would happen in between that because of the worker
Well, I mean, yeah,
massively
I am I
outnumbers.
am extrapolating. I am extrapolating, but this sounds like a terrible system. I mean, this sounds like the worker should openly advocate for work to be open,
Well,
and so it sounds like specifically capitalism mixed with automation is horrible.
yes.
In fact, if you went back to bartering,
Mm-hmm.
if you went back to bartering, it would be so much better because the worker can always produce something regardless of if there's a machine. The worker
I
can't
guess,
produce
yeah.
centralized money.
I don't know. And I feel like you're you're
Excuse me.
pushing me into political realms where I'm not familiar with,
Well,
and kind of like economic stuff I'm
this
not
is
familiar with. Where I was trying to
yeah.
purely make a moral
Well,
argument.
so I'm trying to. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm following. I mean, the moral argument gets into and like I want to see where this goes. I want to see where this goes politically, economically, because I want to explore this, like the real world implications of this.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, we don't
you
have
keep.
to go political, but I mean, on the argument alone is really easy to make, and I just think there's no real
You don't think it's an
refutation.
objection.
I don't think there's an objection.
You don't think it's an
I
objection.
think your argument is objectively right.
Okay.
But so once we've made the argument, what next?
Wait, restate my argument.
Okay, so you're arguing that automation,
Yes.
as a whole, comes in, right, and it does jobs that the worker could otherwise be doing. And what happens to the average Joe is he gets replaced with a machine at like his, I don't know, grocery bagging job, and he has to go find another job, and then he gets replaced there. And what happens is he ultimately gets forced out of work, and so he's not fulfilled in whatever way he needs to be. And so I'm extrapolating that and saying even if he doesn't want to work on what he's working on, he needs money, right? And so if he keeps getting pushed out of jobs where he is trying to make money, but the job is not available because it's automated, he is going to, where does he go? He doesn't go anywhere. But he needs money. How's he going to get money? He's not going to.
See, my original argument.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters if there's money at all.
It's just resources in general.
Yeah.
Any
It's not
resources.
even that. It's labor opportunities. That's all it's arguing
Well,
for.
but the issue
That in any given society, you
that
should
will-
maximize labor opportunities.
Sure,
That's what. That's all
I
I
agree with
got
that. I agree with that. But the
from the
implications of what we have right now would lead to the thought that this man will lose resources that he needs to live.
Mm-hmm.
He will not be able to live unless he goes and builds everything from scratch himself, and that's just not always an option.
Okay.
So it I mean, this is like, I mean, it seems like the lower class is getting collapsed into a primitive state. And what happens when you have primitives and then people like, I don't know. This doesn't sound sustainable at all.
Well, it didn't sound like it will. Like if you're trying to connect it back to reality, that situation's never gonna happen. Is what I'm saying.
It won't happen. But what I'm saying, I mean, so I'm saying if we extrapolate and this keeps going, you're gonna get there. I mean, we can totally explore what's gonna happen too. What are people gonna do when they realizing that they're being forced into a primitive lifestyle because they can't work because the industrialized society has completely cut itself off from the worker and it's completely based on ownership?
I feel like the government would probably just supplement income at that point.
Well, but
I don't think anyone's gonna actually allow.
I don't want to get too political.
A massive class of people to what it sounds like you're saying starve to death. I don't think that's ever going to be allowed.
I don't think they're going to starve to death, but I think they will genuinely have to form their own society. I think
really?
So I think automation, I think late stage, I'm going to call it late stage automation. I'm going to call it late stage automation. I think this will circle straight back around.
Late stage automation.
I think it will circle straight back around into the 99% living a primitive lifestyle without industrialization. When are they going to realize?
Well, no, that wouldn't happen.
Well,
Because there's things that are being produced, right? Who is it being produced for? There's a consumer.
but the consumer can't always get the money because they can't always work.
Well, okay, if there's no, you're saying there's a point where there's no workers, right? That's the hypothetical.
Assuming complete automation.
I know, that's the hypothetical, right? You're saying there's no workers.
Yeah.
Well, the machines are producing something for consumers. If there's no workers, there's no buyers.
Exactly.
This stuff's just going to be free.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that you're just going to have an unfulfilled population. That it's bad that they're not working.
Okay.
That's my argument.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
You know, I don't see the genocide.
So you think things will become free?
I mean, what would be the motive to have all these machines producing something?
No,
you're not going to
you have a point,
extract money
Yeah.
if there's no one.
That's what I was about
money.
to argue. I think the upper class would collapse if they continued to try and squeeze out money.
Yeah, because you need a consumer base.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. It was like it's besides the point. It's getting too hypothetical. Like
yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, well, so I need to think these things through verbally as well. So, okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, but where do we go with this? Where do you lead with this?
Just stop automation. We
stop
shouldn't have
automation. We should stop automation. Okay.
And the problem here is the obvious objection of, well, like what you were saying, like, do I really gotta get rid of a dishwasher?
Well,
but
exactly.
The ethical implication, if the argument is sound, is that yes. But is that true? Is the argument true?
I think this is also the argument for AI a lot too.
What do you mean?
AI is putting people out of jobs. Is AI ethical?
I mean, no, because it automates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the argument.
So, okay. Well, and automation.
You really think?
I think so. I
You
think
think
I'm
having a dishwasher, there's nothing wrong with that? There's
Oh,
something
the
wrong with having a
dishwasher.
dishwasher? Because that's the
I
implication.
think that is the step in the wrong direction.
Wow. All right, well, there we go. I guess we'll think about it more. That's the unwarranted insight.
The unwarranted insight, yeah.
Because I don't know. I was just spitballing that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was something I thought of probably when I was in middle school.
I mean, and we've explored the economic implications. We've explored the political implications.
Yeah.
Where it dead ends, how much you can squeeze out of it.
I mean, okay, that's something interesting too, right? Is the flip side of complete automation is everything's free. But I would say that's actually a bad society.
So communism is bad.
No.
Wait, but hold on.
Communism, you have labor. You have labor in communism.
True.
You don't have to have automation to be a communist.
Okay, so automative communism is bad.
If that's a thing, I guess.
New
it
idea.
doesn't have to be communism.
New ideology.
It can be automative capitalism. It can be automative socialism.
So just automation in general.
Yeah. Like this is what I'm saying. It's like the argument is not engaging with politics.
You
it's
can't
not engaging with.
You can't have automative capitalism. Because
it
would be based on money. Yeah,
it does kind of break down.
That's what I was saying here. That's what I was trying to lead to, and then you finally said it. Is that's just going to break down and
you were talking about like a genocide. I'm like, I don't see.
Well, so it's either going to circle back into a primitive society, or
ever?
So it's either going to collapse the upper class or it's going to collapse into communism.
Yeah, I guess if everything is three, there's no.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to say. I just wasn't articulating it well.
Okay.
I think it'll collapse into communism. I think automation will collapse into communism, and I think it'll collapse into a really bad communism.
Why is and it's bad because people don't work.
It's bad because it would be bad because people cannot work.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, actually, no.
Then you can just
wait, because this brings me back to the warehouse argument. Mm-hmm. It's that I might not want to work.
Yeah, this is.
What if I don't want to work? This is exactly.
This is
what
what I'm trying to like.
If
you were actually understanding what I was saying.
So we've gone like two circles. We've gone like two circles.
I don't know if you exactly know what I'm trying to say.
Well,
if you agree with me on one step, then you're like, wait, no, but actually.
Well, so we have 37 seconds left, but I mean, before we end, I mean, I think we agree with each other, but I think, I mean, we can keep going on, and we could like restart it again.
And I think honestly, it just leaves it to a psychological thing. If it's true that you would really not want to work. Mm-hmm.
So if it's true, I would not really want to work. Then it could maybe work out.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. All right. Wow.
I think
That's
that's a good conclusion.
that's a good conclusion.
All right.
We
Hallelujah.
can discuss that psychological topic another time. All right.
Powerful.
Like 5 circles.